Well, welcome back to another edition of Bolton In. All thanks to the team at Palmer Bet. And as I say, a very good evening and a very good morning to these two legends. Great to be back. Adam McGrath all the way from Vegas. How are you, buddy?
Going well, feeling fresh, Matty.
Hey, it's good to be fresh too. Don't worry about that. Coming off a short little break. We've had a little bit of a hiatus, and we are keen to get back into it and tipping some winners. I've had a lot of people pull me up and say, when are you getting Bolton In going again? Because these boys have been on fire. And Shane Anderson, as we say, good morning to you, mate. The weather looks magnificent off the back of you.
Yeah, good to be back with you, Matty, Adam. And yes, we are finally getting some lovely weather over here in sunny Denmark and throughout Europe. So looking forward to what is now the end of our spring and just about to kick into the summer period. Some great racing over here, which I'm certainly excited to be going to attend and hopefully finding some winners at.
Yeah, it's not too far away either. The old Ascot Carnival and Asfura, of course, made its international debut on the weekend. I thought was good enough too, boys. Nice little first up run.
Yeah, ran really well. Heavy track or very soft track at Haydock, which has got quite a stiff last furlong or so, and she was there to win it. Given I think every chance in the run on speed for Mitch Aiken and Henry Dwyer. It was only the last probably 100 metres or so that she really started to get the stitch. But on quicker ground at Ascot, and that track particularly suits horses that can be in well. I think she's certainly a top 5, top 6 contender, and with a bit of luck, she might be able to steal the prize for Australia.
It'd be huge, that is for sure. And what about last week? Bella Nipotina ads took out the Doomben 10K. What a horse. This horse has turned out to be for Kieran Maher and Connections. Unbelievable.
Yeah, she's been good, hasn't she? All those times we saw her run those very gallant seconds early on in her career, she's really got the reward that she deserved. And you just know that she's going to be there. If one of those favourites is just 1% or 2% off, she's going to continue to attack the line. Craig Williams continues to ride her brilliantly. So I thought it was a very impressive win.
Hey, let's try and continue that winter carnival form, and a couple of Group 1s this weekend. Kingsford Smith Cup over the 1,300 metres, race number 7 on Saturday, 3:13 p.m. And the market, all thanks to Palmer Bet. I Wish I Win is the favourite, $3.90. Magic Time at $5.50. Think About It, $6.50. Bella Nipotina at $6.50 on the back up. In Secret at $7.50. Espiona at $8.50. Antino $11. And Tuvalu all the way from Warrnambool, boys, heading up to coming off the back of that Wangoon victory, of course, at $19. I'm going to start with you, Shane Anderson. A cracking addition for mine of the Kingsford Smith Cup. It's a nice little field assembled.
Yeah, it certainly is. Matty, you can't really knock any of the runners in this race. It looks a really good lineup, strong lineup. A couple of head scratches for me is just trying to work out how's the track going to play with the return back to Eagle Farm. With all due respect to our friends up in Queensland, we certainly have had some track issues over the past period of time. I know the Gold Coast has certainly had a lot of issues, and Eagle Farm has been a little bit hit and miss at times. And I think if the weather forecast I'm getting from over here in Europe says there might be a little bit of rain around over the next couple of days. So just a couple of caveats around things that we need to consider. But the way I've looked at this race, I just keep coming back to my best bet being I Wish I Win. Now, there's been a lot of chatter about the fact that he's drawn the inside barrier again. Of course, he was narrowly touched off last time out in the Doomben 10,000 off an inside barrier. But look, I thought he ran enormously well on that occasion. He was there to win the race. He was just outbobbed over the concluding stages. I like the fact he's still fairly fresh. He had a very light campaign through the latter part of the autumn. Of course, we only saw him at the CJ Smith. He ran well there, finishing third. Then to Brisbane. I think third up here, he peaks. Little gear change. The nose roll is now coming off for the first time with him, but they're keeping the blinkers on, and that I like. I like the fact that Luke Nolan, who knows the horse so very well, is back in the saddle. And he just ticks the boxes for me better than most. So I'm happy with the price. I think he's, for me, I think anything above $3.50 is probably a good bet for him, and we're getting that at the moment. So my best bet, I Wish I Win. I'm pretty confident about him. Now, my value bet, I really like to see In Secret returning here. I think she's dangerous. We know that her best is clearly good enough. She's an outstanding mare for Godolphin. We haven't seen her since the spring. Jamie Carr's back in the saddle with her. She's drawn well in barrier number 4, and she's high quality. I think fresh for her, she's going to be very dangerous. She's got a great record first up. I like her a lot as the value bet, and particularly around that sort of $7, $7.50 mark. So my best bet for the Kingsford Smith, I Wish I Win. The value In Secret, but to your point that you said at the top, I think it's going to be a fantastic race. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, keen to get your thoughts here, Ad. And I wish I win just easing ever so slightly. Kind of open up at 320 out to 380, 390 now. Ads, which and how do you think this race is going to play out? Because as I said, I reckon it's a cracking edition.
Yeah, I think it's a really good race, and I'm keen at that price, a bit like what Shane said for I Wish I Win. I thought the run the other day was full of merit. Look,
Yeah.
I don't like barrier one. That was the first thing I looked to see where it drew, and when I saw one, I was like, oh, here we go again. But I do like Lukey Nolan in the saddle. I like the gear change that Shane mentioned as well. And the other note that I've also got, which Shane mentioned, is the freshness. Since the TJ win last year, only 4 starts, has never been beaten by more than 0.5. Has finished in the top 3 in all of those 4 starts. So hoping for that sort of soft 5 range and then just be able to get off the fence. I think it's the best bet in the race, and I'd be happy to play at that price as well. My value runner is actually Tuvalu, which I know will bring a smile to your face, Matty. The West Australian flavour got up last time. Lindsay Smith, Freddie Kersley, Tuvalu. It was good to see in those colours as well in the Wangoom. Carried the 61.5 over the 1,200 metres. This horse goes very well second up as well. 7 starts, 2 wins, 4 other top 3 finishes. And if we do get that rain, 6 runs on a soft track for 4 wins and 2 seconds as well. And then we go with the question marks of Eagle Farm like Shane brought as well, where you've got the horse that's going to be up on speed. So I think just ticks a lot of boxes for a horse that's at a really big price, second in the Underwood last year. Just know what you're going to get with Tuvalu. Honest, you're going to have to get past it. And if you can't, he's going to be fighting all the way to the line. So I like it as the value play.
Oh, geez, I like it too, mate. I've put Tuvalu in as my value play as well. $19, ridiculous price. This horse is got a huge amount of ability, and coming off the back of a confidence booster down here, winning the Wangoom. And the Wangoom field was all right over the Carnival. Had a few little things in its favour in regards to the track and the way the track was playing. It was a great ride. Had to overcome an outside gate, but got the job done and really impressively. So Tuvalu, if it can just lob into a nice little spot, it's going to give you a hell of a run. My best bet, though, I've settled on Magic Time. Growing big. Mickey D's in great nick at the moment. This horse, a little bit of a freshen off, coming off a nice victory over the 1,400. Drops back to the 1,300, had a nice little jump out in between. And I reckon this horse, already a Group 1 winner, I reckon can get the job done again at about 550 on Saturday. So Magic Time, my best, and Tuvalu, my value bet. Let's move along to the Queensland Derby, race number 8 over the 2,400 metres. Autumn Angel is our favourite, all thanks to Palmer Bet at $2.50. Tannhauser at $4.40. Warmonger, a big Adelaide campaign at $7.50. First innings at $19. Navy King at $21. Son of Deck, $21. Bullets High, $21. And Saban at $21. Ads, I'm going to come back to you. Are you going the short way here, Autumn Angel?
Yeah, I find it very hard to see the winner coming out of the top 3 in the market here. I think Autumn Angel, Townhauser, and Warmonger are your 3, and I'd be very surprised if one of those 3 don't win. I've gone with Autumn Angel. I love Mark Zara getting back in the saddle. I think that's a huge plus. Negative, barrier 1, a bit like I Wish I Win, but you got plenty of time to get moving in there. Obviously, the ATC Oaks winner ran the fastest last 200 in the Rough Habit Plate. I thought you could see any further was going to get past Townhauser. So happy to be with Autumn Angel. My value bet, it was one that I looked at a couple at really big prices, sort of that $40, $50, $60 mark, but I honestly just don't think they can win. So I'm going to go with Warmonger as the value. It's still under that $10 mark, sadly, but Blake Shin riding as good as anyone. He's going to need to with the barrier draw. Second in the Port Adelaide Guineas, 5th in the Group 3 Chairmans, 2nd in the Group 1 South Australian Derby, so you know he can handle the trip. Runs on strongly, as I said, going to need to do that with that barrier draw. But in a field like this, I just think at least you know this horse, what it's going to bring, how it's going to handle the distance, and it ticks the boxes. So winner comes from those 3 only, and I've got to put it in for my value bet as well then.
Shane-o?
I'm going to say, Adam and I certainly using the same theories here. We're the same with I Wish I Win in the Kingsford Smith, and we're aligning again in the Derby. Autumn Angel ticks, again, all the boxes for me as a worthy favourite for the race. Just an outstanding filly. Loved her autumn campaign. Her Oaks win was terrific. But what I like the most about that, Matty, was that she's, off a couple of weeks break from the Sydney campaign. So when we saw her up in Brisbane in the Rough Habit, her run in the Rough Habit was outstanding. Went back to 2,000 metres. So the rise back up to 2,400 metres is ideal for her. We know she's so strong at that trip. She's drawn barrier number 1. So I'm expecting her to get every sweet opportunity throughout. and she'll be there to win the race. So I'm very keen on Autumn Angel. She's short, but I think she's the worthy favourite, so she's my best in the race. I'll tell you what, though, I do like one at big odds here, the Kiwi First Innings. You mentioned currently at $19. His win last start at Ipswich was outstanding. Coming off his campaign over in New Zealand, of course, he competed in the New Zealand Derby. He's placed at Group 3 level in New Zealand. He's trained by Andrew Forsman, who's certainly an outstanding trainer. But that win at Ipswich, he was 6 and 7 deep nearly throughout, and he was so strong on the line. Now, I know it was like down in grade. He's getting back up to the Group 1 contest for the 3-year-olds here, but there's a lot to like about him as a stayer. He's drawn, I think, reasonably well, barrier number 12 for a horse that can settle perhaps midfield. And Jim Byrne in the saddle, I think he's a really significant value bet in the race, particularly at the each way. So Autumn Angel, my best, short, but I think sweet. My value bet First Innings each way at around $19. I like him a lot.
Yeah, well, I think Autumn Angel certainly the horse to beat. I think further the better. Really impressive last start. And Moody Coleman going very, very well at the moment. Zara's in good nick as well. But I reckon there's one at a price, boys. And this horse won sensationally well. And it's a horse locally here, and I'm sticking fat with the locals, but Navy King. And it's a horse that I know they've always had an opinion of. And I reckon last time, you go and watch the replay and the win at Flemington, it kind of was powering away. 2,400, going to be no knock whatsoever. The horse has travelled up beautifully. The jockey's gone, the stable jockey has gone up there, and Bailey Keast, and he is saying that this horse is feeling enormous. So if there is a little blowout, and I reckon each way play at $21 is a nice way to play, and that is Navy King, horse number 5 for mine. So from the Simon Wild team, knows how to train a stayer too, boys, as you know. So if there is any knock on the fave, I reckon the fave's going to be very, very hard to beat. But if there is any, luck in running or anything like that, and Navy King can just slot into a nice spot, I reckon it could be the blowout. So that's the way I'm playing. Let's bat elsewhere. What are we thinking? Ads, come back to you, mate. Anything else around the country on Saturday for the Palmer Bet followers?
Yeah, well, normally I'd like to go home and focus on the West, but I got a little video from Trackwork this morning, and there was a man called Noah there with an ark, and it is going to continue raining over there. It is meant to, I think they got all their annual rainfall this week, from what I've been told. It hasn't rained in Perth for the whole year. So I am staying well away from there at the moment, just with how much they are expecting to get. So Caulfield Race 7, St. Lawrence will be my tip. There was $2.80 early, 6 from 12. Return at Rose Hill was very good first up over the 1,500 metres, running third. 2 from 2 second up, 2 from 2 at Caulfield. We'll go with St. Lawrence at Caulfield Race 7.
I love it, mate. The Kiramar team going sensationally well. Shane Anderson, your thoughts, buddy? What else you got for the punters?
Yeah, I looked around. I'm happy to stick with Eagle Farm. Race number 6, I think it is, the Fred Best. I'm quite keen on the John O'Shea, Jamie Carr combination with Schwartz. I love the win last start in the Hawkesbury Guineas, when up on speed and kind of dominating that race from the front. We know he's got a bit of tactical versatility, so from barrier number 5, I can just see him either leading or getting probably the box seat run, and I think he's clearly the one to beat. So if we're getting around that sort of $5 to $6 mark, really good each way bet. Pretty confident about his chances.
Oh, I love this because I like this horse, and Hawkesbury Guineas winner last start, and the mail was only about 80% wound up, and heading towards a Stradbroke, currently $15 on Palmer Bet if you're wanting to and you like your future punting. So I'd have something on Saturday, and before Saturday I'd have something heading towards the Stradbroke as well, because I reckon this horse goes very, very good in Swartz. I'm going to come back to Caulfield, and believe it or not, I'm going with another local, Tommy Davenig. He is flying at the moment, running at a really high percentage. I think he's about 16-17%. He's going sensationally well. He's only had this horse, this preparation, and it's a horse called Ashford Street, who won very well first up at Caulfield. Got some good second up stats, and at $11, nice little each way play. I don't know why the horse can't do it again. So Ashford Street and Tommy Davenig to salute. Race 6 at Caulfield, horse number 1 on Saturday. Hey, listen, Palmer Bet, boys, they got the Punters Club. kicking off in a couple of weeks' time, which is going to be really exciting. So I can't wait for that. So just watch this space because they've got some good things happening there as well, which is going to be fantastic. But as always, wonderful to see you two. And I'm fair dinkum, I've had that many people say, when is that show coming back? Because the boys tipped the lights out. So we might have to just tap on the Palmer Bet boys' shoulder and say, listen, I think this show needs to run each week, you blokes. Don't worry about the Group 1s. We need to be tipping winners each week. But we'll see what we can come up with. But always great to see you, Ads. You have a wonderful week, mate, and enjoy the weekend and the racing.
Great to be back, boys. Looking forward to seeing how this weekend plays out.
Shano, always a pleasure, mate. And can we just say happy birthday to you? Had a birthday during the week, mate. Seriously, not looking a day over 30 for mine, mate. You are looking sensational. So happy birthday to you, legend, and I hope you had a great birthday.
Thank you, mate. If I'm not looking a day over 30, I must be using a very strong filter here on the Zoom call. But I just want to get one quick mention. I'm off to the Oakson Derby at Epsom this weekend over in the UK, and there's a horse in the Derby, Bellum Justin, around 20 to 1. I think he's a fantastic each way bet for Rashid Murphy. So hopefully we might get a winner on the international circuit.
Love it.
Tell you what, Matty, different season, same travelling Shane.
Isn't it? Unbelievable. And just on that, remember a horse I told you about, that Middle Earth? Did you see that victory the other night? Kieran Maher has brought, he's bringing that horse over here to the Melbourne Cup. I think that is the goal. And I've got some mates that have jumped in the ownership, and they are up and about because that was a really impressive victory the other night. So, one to watch moving forward as well. And another one for the futures punting, boys, if you want to get in early. Hey, good to talk to you, legends. We'll talk next week.
See you guys.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.